to use a webcam. For all you guys know, I could be in no shirt right now.
Yeah.
RPG do give the map pick over to SPT, and they bring out the Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, that's a pretty good map to go for, especially if you don't want to get surprised by any shenanigans. And just look at SPT's record, 7-1. They are the masters of Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, and RPG currently 0-3, not having a good time here. Despite the Illidan that they like so much, having a pretty decent time on here just due to split push potential.
Absolutely. Are they going to ban that Illidan again? Or maybe is RPG going to pick it first or second? We saw that in the past already. Abathur Illidan first, bam bam, lock it in and nail down your strategy before your opponents can actually thwart your plans and ban it out. So I want to see some determination here on the side of RPG. I really want them to play according to their strengths. And something I just realized, Zeratul and Brightwing stats are not getting any better.
No, they are continuing to drop down, sadly. And unfortunately, this does start to reinforce the fact that RPG may have a slightly lesser hero pool, and that might be causing teams to have an easier time countering them nowadays.
Yeah.
So we need RPG to step it up. We'll see if they're going to be able to in this game.
Yeah. One player that I definitely want to exclude from this accusation, if you will, is Wang, because I think Wang plays almost every warrior in the game. We saw him on Murden doing God's work. We saw him on Stitches landing those game-winning hooks, and his Anuprag is nothing to be sneezed at either. So Wang definitely, in my opinion, a warrior that can play almost anything. But so is Misaka. You can't ban those guys out. If you ban Anuprag, well, choose one. Pick your poison. Arthas, Anuprag, Murden, etc. Misaka plays them all.
It's very hard to ban out tank players anyway these days. They actually have a fair variety due to the tank balancing being pretty decent. Would like another solo tank coming into the Heroes of the Storm soon at some point. That would be nice to see.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Although it also shows us that Blizzard has done a really good job balancing warriors in general, right? There's hardly any warrior that is flat out broken, with the exception of Anuprag being so good right now. But if you look at all the other main tanks, like Arthur's, okay, he might be slightly stronger than some of the others, but if the time is right, if the situation is correct, then you can easily go for someone like Diablo and Johanna without, you know, breaking any sweats of like, oh my god, we're just going to lose the game. Even ETC pops up still every now and then.
Yes, he does, and it's really cool to see that he does. For now, though, we do see, like I said, the Uther and the Dahaka, very good global roaming potential. With the Genji already for RPG, this does look like a more solid draft so far.
Yeah, the Genji is definitely a solid foundation to build your team comp on. He's very flexible. He fits into almost any composition these days, simply due to the fact that he's so powerful. His mobility is second to none. Outstanding poke damage with burst elements combined if you get the resets. So what are they going to pick next to him? Uther, normally the best support in my opinion to go alongside with a Genji, because he's very fragile. That is probably his greatest weakness, but Uther can compensate that with armor. Can they go for something like Rhaegar maybe? I would like to see that. They wait a little bit more and they go for Stitches, Wang's go-to when it really matters.
Yes, now they have the Stitches and two great heroes to follow up on it. The Genji and the Greymane. Really good at following up on Stitches due to the incredible burst potential, but they still need some CC to continuously lock people down. 41% on that Stitches, basically 42% with the 0.9. Not too surprising. He has been exceptionally good in the first phase, but has sort of fallen off a little bit this phase. But either way, he was played by so many teams, and as such, when a hero is played by more teams, he gets a lower win rate usually.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, something we're yet to see in China is Varian Greymane, a combo that has been or has become very popular in other regions. Fnatic executes it on a regular basis, oftentimes to actually shred double support, because the taunt curse bullet plus the Mortal Strike at level 13 counters so much of the healing that targets can apply on that focus target. So in China we have yet to see that though. Varian has fallen off quite significantly overall in popularity, which makes me very sad.
Yes, he has. Rip Varian. Eventually he shall return, but for now, we must await. As we move on to the third and fourth picks for Super Perfect Team, they still need any kind of ranged hero. That would be nice for them.
Yeah, range would definitely be nice. And there's many to choose from. I mean, Melody C, you can put him on almost anything. Same goes out to Quan Zhao. Falstad available still. The Vala is no longer available, but I mean, you can just pick a mage, right? Li Ming, Gul'dan. Actually, I would love to see more Gul'dan. Even a KT could be so good against all those melee heroes that RPG will have sooner or later. Because Stitches, Greymane in Worgen form, Genji sometimes, they can really spread out the bombs quite nicely. But there you go for Malthael and Cassie. Hey, I'm not going to complain about that.
Yep, that is pretty cool to see. That's scary to see. Like, if any of these get hooked in, I would not mind... no, it doesn't actually work. The talent that allows our Cassia to drop a blind when she gets stunned, that will actually drop at the hook hit location, meaning you will not get value from it if you're hit by a Stitches hook. So potentially just trying to turn around and not die is the reaction to if Cassia is hooked. But if not, she has Uther on her side to assist.
Yeah, there we go. And some of our Twitch chat members are currently talking about the Pool Party Brawl, which is, by the way, one of the most amazing game modes I've ever played. Can you imagine, like, you know those instant kill combos, right? If 2 hooks land on the same target?
Yeah.
And can you imagine that being brought into the real game with Abathur copies? Like, you have double Stitches?
That would be... For all we know, it is in the game, and we just don't know about it because no one's actually landed it.
Who knows?
We don't know. We will have to find out at some point.
Oh, the green lean fighting machine has finally found...
So Thrall, let me check Chickens. Like I said, he has played Thrall. He's played it once and has a 0% win rate on it currently.
Well, that was probably the old Thrall. Thrall has received a pretty significant rework. He even got buffed after the rework as well. His self-healing is now more powerful than before. And some of his talents also got buffed a little bit, especially the Wolf at level 4 now providing more Frostwolf resilience stacks once you hit it, plus physical armor. So, is that what they need? I don't know. Can it work? Yes, because Thrall is one of those fighting machines that when you get a good flank in with a Sundering potentially, you can single-handedly decide games. Can they also go for Earthquake? Absolutely. It's just a little bit more, you know, easy to play around. Earthquake, you can just run out and shouldn't really be that big of a deal. However, keep in mind, the Earthquake can slow everyone. And if you slow down everyone, Uther's Guardian of the Ancient Kings is not going to proc. Only stuns, roots, and silences will trigger it. But guess what? Melody C says, ha! I can take you out all by myself with that Leyline Seal.
Yeah, they need to be so careful of that Leyline Seal. If RPG attempt for the burst comp, but they get leylined, it's basically all over. Once again, relying on that Bright Wing, taking after Fnatic, and we were complaining about hero versatility. They have immediately proved us wrong, so I'm already happy.
Absolutely, I couldn't be happier about the Thrall. I personally can remember seeing him in China after his rework, so I'm going to be especially interested in seeing what kind of talent build they're going to go for. There's still debate going on, and still pro players themselves don't seem to have agreed on a definite version of it. Darkmok from Team Liquid the other day, I think he played him last week, and he went for a very all-in Feral Spirit build with the Alpha pack at level 4, which requires you to land every single skill shot. If you fail once before you hit 7, you're going to have to start all over again. And unfortunately, it didn't go so well for Darkmok.
It did not. Let's see if RPG are going to be able to pull anything off a little bit better. So, who is the tank for SPT again?
I think they had a Dehaka?
Okay, so it's a solo tank Dehaka. This is doable these days. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Especially with the likes of, you know, Medivh in the mix too. Like, they can give additional protection, right?
Yeah, I agree. I like that. So overall, both these compositions, I do like it. They're both fairly difficult to execute comps. Whose is a little bit easier to execute? I would say likely SPTs is easier to execute because their entire comp is jump in and do a lot of damage. Medivh's the highest to execute hero there.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say, right now, let's find out as we head into the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Infernal Shrines. As we load into game number 2 of this best of 2 series, spawning on the left-hand side, it is Super Perfect Team, with Zhen Zhao playing on the Cassia Berdici, on Medivh, Misaka on Dahaka, Wings on the Malthael, and ZZH is playing the Uther.
And their opponents, RPG with another one warrior comp. Chicken on the Thrall, Wang on Set Stitches. Then we have Sa on the Brightwing. Loktar is going to play our... What, was he Thrall or Genji? Did you see it?
I would assume Genji.
Ah, he did go full RPG role-playing mode. Loktar, you need to play the War Chief of the Horde. But he goes for him. Yeah. No, he went Greymane. Damn. Thrall is played by Chicken. The
melee assassin player playing the melee assassin. What a twist! But no, it is going to be the Thrall played by Chicken this time, who is currently holding off on his level 1. We were going to be keeping a very close eye on Chicken's build because it's been a while since we've seen Thrall.
So here's my personal favorite, Echo of the Storm. That is the one that I want to see. It's the blue Chain Lightning talent. It basically causes you to get another instance of Chain Lightning after killing or last hitting 20 minions, and that is normally not that hard to do. You have a 1.5 second time window. If the minion hit by the Chain Lightning dies in that set time frame, you're gonna get 1 stacks. Once you get 20, you're gonna have 2 Chain Lightnings, and guess what? That combos off really well with follow through. You hit a Q, auto attack, Q auto attack, and you're gonna deal massive amounts of burst damage. Helping hand though, Loktar, last second save here. Wang, you are a god.
Wang is in fact a god. All bow down to the Wang as he pulls back his ally to safety. Still, no level 1 talent. That's a long hold off coming in here from Chicken.
Yeah, and if you want to go for Echo of the Storms, you want to get stacks as quickly as possible. So I actually don't think he's going to go for that talent anymore, because I'm pretty sure he missed a couple of minion deaths already, and you want to last hit those. So what is it actually going to be? They're playing with our nerves here a little bit, but... let's see. I don't really see the value hiding your level 1 talent that much, to be honest.
No, it's level 1 talent. Like, what is so impactful that you can hide it for this long? What are you reacting to on the enemy team? Is there anything level 4 that allows him to react from the enemy team?
I mean, he could still go Crash Lightning, which would require him to hit at least 2 heroes with it, and maybe he wants to wait until SPT starts to clump up a little bit more. He could also go Rolling Thunder, but that talent gives you immediate value, right? That talent gives you immediate mana regen and also increases your lightning. What is Thrall doing here? He's not even
the only...
What?
Like, Rolling Thunder is the only one that isn't a quest. It's the only one that he could actually really pick now and still gain value from, which is so weird. Yet he's not picking it. It's kind of making it obvious, unless it's some crazy mind games and he's taking the risk of not doing the quest. There we go. It goes for Rolling Thunder. Thank God.
He goes for Rolling Thunder, so he hasn't really missed any stacking progress here. But also, he didn't really get the mana regen. He didn't really get the range to poke down more efficiently. So this is extremely weird. At level 4, we see the Mana Tide. And this is a talent that pre-rework was almost never picked, because Thrall was never suffering from mana issues anyway. Now, however, with an inbuilt cooldown reduction, this talent becomes very, very powerful. You almost never run out of mana again, so Thrall becomes the ultimate lane bully. And also reducing your cooldowns is pretty damn good, although it's just a 0.5 second time window. But still, it's a good talent. I like it. So far, I approve.
They're fairly low cooldowns anyway, so it's not such a deal. Saw a nice dodge on the Dahaka tongue, so able to move back to safety. So now, the Shrine has been completely abandoned by RPG. They try to put pressure on the bot lane, rotation from SPT to prevent a huge amount of value being got from that, though. Hook finds a minion. Hooray.
Yeah, Misaka, definitely not thick enough to get hit by that one. Wang, though, he should be... oh, never mind. We totally missed the beginning of the Shrine phase. Camera did not pay any attention, so yeah, looks like SPT...
They had 39 for a while. They were holding it until we had it here, but they're not going for a huge push with it.
Exactly.
They're moving in now, but the Punisher's already down to half.
Now, the Punisher is going to get taken out easily. They're not even getting a single tower. That's how weak the early objectives are. The Hook comes out, doesn't land on anyone. And let's wait for Thrall to pick his level 7 talent. I mean, Chicken, he's been... the Chicken, actually, when it comes to picking those talents, he took his sweet time. It almost looks like he's reading the talent description, but of course...
He might be.
No,
there we go. Goes for follow through. There is another quest talent on that level, so he would be missing out on quests. And Ancestral Wrath requires stacking anyway, so this makes the most sense to follow through in terms of, well, I know what this does. If he is going for the reading quests, it is still the same.
Right. So let's see here. That's definitely a different build than Darkmark over in Europe chose. Darkmark actually went for Maelstrom weapon.
Get it?
The other day. Ah. If he had
So
landed
close.
that hook on one of those Impalos, he could have denied the taking or the capture progress a little bit more. As for now, they still managed to capture it. Now, Darkmark the other day, he went for the Maelstrom weapon, which is basically a quest talent that involves Wind Fury. And if you attack a couple of heroes with Wind Fury active, you can actually increase more attack speed and more attack damage, respectively. So it's a little bit more of a gamble because you need to have a good
speed.
And movement speed, yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit of a gamble because you need to be able to have a good early game and attack a lot in the first place. But if you get rolling, if you get that talent stacked up, it's really, really powerful.
Yeah, you have so much chase potential, you do a little bit more damage, you're able to chase faster. Good body box from SPT, Greymane gets killed off. No Wizard Duelist this time, like SPT did last game, so no stacks are lost.
Absolutely, so let's see, Infinity pulling back for now. I really like the pressure that RPG has applied on the map so far. Managing to, you know, hold in quite handsomely in terms of overall XP. The hook didn't land. Wang definitely... that's the thing, though. You need to keep trying in order to hook people eventually. You only need to land one. If you miss 12 throughout the game, and the 13th hook is going to be your lucky one, and you win the game because of it, all worth it. So, guys, if you play the likes of Stitches or Dehaka, just keep trying to use your crowd control abilities. Don't be shy of missing. Don't be afraid of missing. It's all part of the game.
Yes, but to be clear on that one, if you are playing a hero like Stitches, don't always hook. Please use your own judgment about when it is okay to hook Wang.
And make sure that you have follow-up ready. Exactly.
Yes. Wang, this was a good time to hook. He did have his allies nearby. Only found a minion, but it's all good. He also has Gorge. It was near his own base. So they are going for a Gorge Emerald Wind build. The good old-fashioned combo that we've been seeing a little bit more in the last month or so. And Earthquake is the heroic by Thrall.
Yeah, Earthquake, of course, doesn't really proc the Guardian of the Ancient Kings by Uther, like Sundering could have potentially done. It's a nice AoE crowd control ability. It is definite value. Sundering can be oftentimes detrimental to your own battle plan. If you don't land it perfectly, you might actually knock enemies back even further. So Earthquake, despite having a much higher cooldown now than it originally had, is still the safer option to go. And normally I'm a big fan of Earthquake plus KT, because I think you get massive value if you chain those abilities together. But for now, it will do. Emerald Wind here to disengage, but that is still a massive onslaught by SPT. And look how RPG is forced back.
Yeah, Medivh came through the portal, and Genji predicting the exit of the portal. Divine Shield having to be used here. In the meantime, Stitches has gone down. Leyline Seal to give Merely C a chance to escape. Infinity having to jump over a tower to get out here. But that was interesting. Medivh went in through the portal, got polymorphed, Emerald Wind, and gorged, and still escaped. And
Crazy.
Stitches is the one that fell.
Yeah, and when you blow your entire cooldown arsenal on one target like Medivh, and he still does not fall, then you know you're going to be in a bad spot in the ensuing team fight. So for now, RPG, they managed to hold. They lost a fort, sure, but hey, they're nowhere near falling yet because it's just 8 minutes into the game after all. But already, a strong, aggressive performance by SPT, going in with the portals, in and out, pushing RPG back, and giving the Punisher full value.
Yeah, Punisher getting full value indeed, getting some good damage off, and they were all able to pull back without taking too much damage. Malthael dropping his E on 4 heroes there, getting some great value as he begins to spread it. He does still have Tormented Soul, so he does go in, but he's kind of on his own. Force of Will is dropped, the hook does not land though, and it looks like they won't be able to finish him off thanks to the portal unless Genji goes really deep here, does not want to take the risk by the look. Oh, cocktail snipe!
Loktar with a big shake here, dropping that cocktail like a baller, and I don't think Cassia saw that one coming. And that is actually, like, we keep saying, destroy those wall pieces, right? Because they provide vision to the enemy team, they oftentimes cripple your own movement, but if you have heroes like Greymane, you can use those wall pieces to your own advantage, and that's exactly what happened there. Great sniper RPG.
Great snipe by RPG indeed. Nicely done. Coming in here from Loktar, able to pick up the first kill for a team, actually making the kill count only 1 to 2.
Oh.
Stitch is looking to make it 2 to 2. There's the Gorge. Where's the Emerald win? Not needing to be used yet. Uther moving in. Portals dropped, and Medivh gets out. Genji is still in this backline. Good start by Uther, and Genji in full retreat.
Yeah, very nice preemptive cleanse here by Brightwing to secure that Genji would not fall victim to a CC burst chain. That was so closer. Did you see the Curse Bullet miss? They wanted to use the hook into the Curse Bullet, but unfortunately it missed. And also the Medivh shield, I think, would have been able to reflect it because it was cast immediately. So, unfortunately, there was not enough damage as a follow-up here for RPG. But look at the global experience. They pulled even 13 against 13, and both teams are on their way to contest the Shrine here. Genji getting pulled. Stitch's response with a hook. The Emerald win is good.
Yeah, gives Genji a little bit more room. Drops the deflect, and he doesn't do too much damage. It has now repositioned himself up to the higher area. Thrall going on for Malthael. The Force of Will is dropped. Here comes the Earthquake. Dragon Blade spreading crazy damage. The Divine Shield onto Cassia, and the Leyline Seal delaying any follow-up. But that does give Chicken a chance to reposition. Stitch is, though, out of position, having to pull back due to Malthael's crazy percentage damage. And Infinity is so low, having to dash through to make it so that he doesn't get blown up. And SPT take another fight. Get wrecked, Uther. Going through the port. Oh, that was from the Gorge, sorry, not through the portal.
Sometimes the Patient Gorge is the deadliest, and that's exactly what happened here. He waited. Wang, at the beginning of the fight, it was still on a 5-second cooldown, so he couldn't have used it immediately even if he had wanted to. But the fact that he didn't have it ready actually gave him the kill against Uther, who by now I think didn't even expect it anymore, because he was probably like, yeah, it was used already, so I'm probably good to go, right? And even the portal by Melody C was not strong enough to save him because there was so much body blocking going on. Valiant effort here, but RPG this time around, they're the ones putting on the pressure against SPT, and they're not even trying to defend this bottom 4.
Yeah, SPT splitting up, letting the Haka soak top. We are seeing Thrall move up there to assist with that. Genji trying to move up to Cassia here. Cassia moving very quickly, trying to bait away from the portal so that the CC would not lock her down. She wouldn't get caught in the Punisher route, so she repositioned herself and was eventually able to get through the portal.
Did you see what Stitch's, like, what Wang was trying to do there? He was trying to predict when Cassia would step through the portal, and he aimed his hook accordingly. Unfortunately, it was aimed a little bit too early, so Cassia was not caught in the process. But the mere idea, the thought process of, okay, I'm going to hook that target once it leaves the portal is so nice, and it really shows how RPG seems to have much more comfort and seems to be stable much more in this second game. Now, Thrall, he went for the formerly bugged talent. First Wolf's Grace is now fixed on the live service, and it gives you the right amount of healing, whereas before, it was always slightly over the top.
Yeah, which would still have been worth picking. We had it wasn't banned out, but either way, we are seeing a correct version of it, so we do not have to worry about that. As both teams begin race towards level 16, it is hit by RPG first, but that does not stop SPTs continuing to play aggressively and stealing away the Merc camp.
Alright, 16 has been reached for RPG before SPT. They're actually the team that is in the driver's seat right now. See the Alpha Killer for Greymane. Pretty good.
Fishing hook from Stitches. Even though they're not behind, they still want that isolation potential, that comeback potential, because this is entirely what this comp is about, picking people off from far away. This time it does not land. ZZ8 was on point, able to move upwards.
And Thrall goes for the Alpha Wolf, which is a very interesting talent. It actually has more tank shredding, more percentage damage. So if you land that Feral Spirit, you're going to hit him super hard. And that's exactly what they're trying to do, right? The Stitches hook into the Wolf. Ew, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that healing, baby.
Denied by the Force of Will, so instead they try to remove the person in the Force of Will from the game. Portal, no Leyline Seal, where's the portal? He drops it down and gets through. And now here comes the counter engage from SPT. Wings into the backline with the Tormented Souls. Brightwing is isolated and killed off. She gets taken down. Infinity wants to try and get Melody C. Needs to try and protect the portal.
Double protection.
Force of Will, but Melody C having to go back through the portal. There's the stun. He's not dead yet. That's such Melody C had to go back into bird form just in case.
Okay, the idea behind RPG's attack here was good, right? Kill someone isolatedly, use the Earthquake to slow down the pursuit of the teammates, use the Emerald Wind to isolate the target even further. Unfortunately, it was Medivh, who could just drop a shield and drop a portal and even a leyline seal. That leyline seal took all the momentum away of this onslaught, and if it had been any other target, I think it would have been much better. Except maybe Dehaka, he would have probably still been able to survive here. But the idea is good by RPG. It's just that SPT brought so many counters to that very picky strategy. Chicken.
A bit harder to deal with. Chicken taking a little bit of damage here, pull it back. They are able to steal the camp, but Chicken getting taken out by the Fend.
Yeah,
they have it. They do have Uther back there.
Oh, hello.
They're bringing him out. Brightwing looking for body box, but the Divine Shield will prevent that.
Yeah, trading a Divine Shield for an Emerald Wind is a pretty good trade. As you can see, 50 seconds left for Brightwing, 80 for Uther. So already pretty valuable trade-off in terms of heroic ability cooldowns here.
And we see Infinity, he wants the kill anyway. If they can get the kill, then that's a crazy good trade. But he's getting focused down. Cleanse has to be used. Hook finds Medivh, not you again. There's the portal. This time he just gets out. What a sheep accidentally.
Yeah, the sheep was was cast, but that's another slight disadvantage of the polymorph. True, it prevents you from casting abilities, but it does not prevent you from moving and clicking on the portal. So in that instance, a stun or a root would have actually been a little bit better, but it was still very, very close. Melody C, he continues to be the bane of RPG's existence. Every single time they catch someone, he thwarts their plans.
He really does. This Medivh has been so solid throughout the entire game, and now we see Wang again looking around, hanging around for a portal, but the Punisher has already been, for a hook, hanging around for a hook, but the Punisher has already been taken. And even if they drop a hook, look at Melody C, he's just hovering above Stitches, just making sure he knows where he is so he knows where the hook's coming from and his team can react.
I wonder if RPG should have actually banned Medivh after looking so good in game 1. Dehaka now being caught though. Medivh, Melody C, look at his Raven form. He's trying to drop that portal, but the Emerald Wind was supposed to deny it, but it was too late. The timing a little bit off for RPG, and that's a huge waste of cooldowns on both the Gorge and the Emerald Wind. And SPT is going to go in very aggressively here.
The leyline seal is dropped. They go through the portal. Punisher comes over to tank. They focus down Genji, but they don't finish him off. However, they do finish off Brightwing with those tormented souls as they're able to pick that up, and they force everyone else back. Infinity may actually die here. Yes, they do, to the Lightning Javelin, the Lightning Fury, and they take down the first keep of the game.
Yeah, and with 2 people being dead for 45 and 37 seconds respectively, and the Punisher still online providing a little bit of distraction, they could maybe go for the core, but they want to take it safe. They are 20 now, so are they going to turn around, or are they going to play it super safely?
They want Misaka. They were able to land the hook on him, but no extra follow-up. And he didn't put him into a keep. They put him into the core, so not even a slow from that. And level 20 is now hit by SPT. They're very far forward, very... oh my god, they just turned it round. Looking straight for Thrall, who is sustaining through it, but the vulnerability makes him too squishy, and he is taken out.
Yeah. I gotta give credit to the amount of awareness that SPT has. They knew exactly 2 rook abilities were just wasted. They knew exactly that the Punisher would help them and aid them in their cause, and they immediately turned it on. And Melody C in particular, another 4 to 5 man leyline seal, knocking or locking everyone down on the side of RPG. If the MVP award this game, or after this series, goes to anyone else other than Melody C, I'm going to be heavily disappointed.
We see the Gorge used, Emerald Wind pushing him actually towards the portal. Polymorph is used, trying to body block him. Divine Shield's used, they didn't even go through the portal. As we see the Genji was able to escape though.
So much protection. Medivh, Uther, the push actually not being helpful here either. As you said, he pushed him towards the portal rather than away from it.
Didn't even take it, just didn't need it.
Yeah.
He just got a Divine Shield on him and they just turned it around.
Now, level 20 can be quite the power spike for Thrall. He can have, or he can basically choose between 2 good options these days. He can still go for the Earthen Shields at level 20, which provides massive protection and massive shielding to all of his allies standing inside of the radius of the Earthquake, or he can go for the new talent Windrush, which is essentially a pimped up version of the old Bolt of the Storm, applying an immediate version of Wind Fury after blinking. However, it comes with a pretty long cooldown of 80 seconds. Wait, what?
Another level 20 that is worth mentioning. The final curtain and invisibility coming in here. Invisibility from the Medivh so that they can try and get a gank. But the final curtain basically means that Malthael, who just gets hooked in, there's the Gorge. Can they follow it? No, get dragged. Now Malthael in a much safer position. Genji even being forced to retreat, and it's going to be Stitches who gets punished here. Emerald Wind trying to zone out, but Stitches will still fall. But yeah, this final curtain applies Malthael's E, applies his Death Shroud to a area after he casts it, so he can be great use for AoE denial, and of course, as a follow-up to Leyline Seal.
It's definitely the death zone you don't want to enter because it's going to apply a lot of damage onto you and also provides you, or provides Malthael with additional healing, right? And especially if you have talents like Memento Mori, which are really, really good when people get affected by his trade for a longer period of time. You just don't want to step inside it. Now, that constant invisibility on Uther is so sneaky because it allows him to go for a sneaky attempt with that hammer. Of course, to stun people down. Now, Infinity, he goes, oh! Flies all the way!
Oh, if that bounce had actually bounced onto Loktar, he might have died there, but as such, Infinity barely able to survive.
That was the longest ball lightning bounce I have ever seen. It looked pretty amazing. But, of course, with Wang taken out earlier, the main frontliner, the main tank, not in the fight. There's only so much RPG can do. Unfortunately for them, it's going to be an Arcane Punisher, so it's going to be the deadliest of them all when it comes to pushing down those keeps. Middle lane a little bit threatened already, and yeah, this will be one of the ultimate defenses here for RPG. They went for the Earthen Shields, by the way, so the protective capabilities are definitely there. Can they hold, though, Tetra? That is going to be so important, so crucial for them.
Invisible. Dahaka and Uther, the two CC heroes on this team with the double invisibility, moving around, looking for their opportunity to try and grab a kill here. Uther reveals himself. Dahaka also reveals himself. No one is stepping out. They know they're not going to gain any value from just hiding around here. The ley line, those dropped. There's the portal. They come through. Death Shroud is dropped. The Tormented Souls try to get into the back line. They try to take out Brightwing, but it's going to be Uther who is the one who is isolated.
Uther, though, he should have redemption up, so even if they kill him, he will be back in, I mean, best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. I probably couldn't do it any better. But Uther's back. He went to the chopper, came back, and now he's still there to aid his fellow allies. Can they get the core? That is the question. The Stitches Hook, of course, can always be that threat that causes you to win the game.
Oh,
Genji, well, he required more healing there for sure.
He really did. Genji got focused down, and now with two keeps down, this is looking rough. The portal is used. They're hiding over by their keep, so this is the best situation they can fighting. The Earth Shield is used. The Death Shroud, though, burning through those shields. Ooh. Finally, it expires. They hook in the Malthael here. Oh. Not the ideal target. Divine Shield keeps him alive. He teleports out, and he gets out temporarily with the Force of Will. And it looks like he will escape this as the core starts going down. And this is going to be GG. And Super Perfect Team take the game number 2 and the 3 points.
Malthael was babysitted and protected so well throughout the entire game. I gotta say that both Uther and Melody C on the Medivh, they played outstandingly well. They made sure that despite all the lockdown and pick potential from RPG, no one really was getting caught off all the time. So, RPG looking quite good, quite okay. They were getting really, really close to potentially tying out the series, and I think SPT, they know that, you know, the air is getting a little bit thinner here at the top because so many teams are chasing after them. However, this time they maintained their lead, they reigned supreme, and I gotta say, Tetra, that Melody C Medivh was Europe ADRD level, and teams in the future might have to ban it against them.
Yeah, it is so scary, but right now we're getting to the point where how do you ban against Super Perfect Team? The hero pools are starting to get a little too varied and a little too scary as they continue to hold their place tied with CE at the top of the table. So now, next week, they will play against each other. They're either going to remain tied at the top of the table if they won one, or they are going to, or one of these teams is going to get a significant advantage over the other.